After talking about the conformation and the two systems of Chinese characters, let's move on to the next part. There are many characteristics of Chinese characters. Here, mainly, we just mention 3 ones. We may make the contrast between Chinese and other alphabetic languages to see the major differences or the characteristics. The first one, square-shaped. In Chinese, we just say 方块字. That is the first characteristic of Chinese characters. Chinese characters are square in shape, so they are also called square-shaped characters. No matter how many strokes one character has, it should be written in a square space. For instance, please look at the following Chinese character. Do you know how to pronounce it in Chinese? And do you know what it means? Do you know how many strokes are there in its writing? Yes. In Chinese, it is pronounced biang. It's a kind of delicious food in Shanxi province. It has 56 strokes. 56 strokes. So it is said that this Chinese character has the most strokes among today's Chinese characters. Then, let's talk about the second characteristic. That is pictographic. If there is no pictograph, other Chinese characters could not be constructed. For instance, just now, we mentioned some examples like that. Like the first one, the mountain, right? It just looks like the shape of the mountain. And the second one, the sun. Also, the Chinese character just looks like the shape of the sun. The next one, farmland. It just looks like the shape of the farmland. They just show the second characteristic of Chinese characters. More examples. Please look at the following ones. They are all from the pictures of the objects. How about the first one? Can you make a guess? And the second one? And the third one? The next one? So they just look like those physical objects in the world. That is about the second characteristic of Chinese characters. Now, let's talk about the third one. The third one is ideographic. Ideogram is a graphic symbol that represents an idea or concept. They convey their meaning through pictorial resemblance to a physical object. Let's look at the following Chinese characters. From the following ones, you can see what it means. Indeed, that is about the typical examples. Then, let's summarize what we have learned. Let me use some numbers to help you review what you have studied. How about the first number? Number 2. What does it stand for? Yes, we just mentioned 2 systems of Chinese characters. The first one, simplified Chinese, which is used by us, right? The second one, traditional Chinese. Many people in Hong Kong and Taiwan just use that, right? That is about the 2 systems. How about the second number, number 3? The first one is about the 3 legends concerning the origin of Chinese characters. I just introduced the 3 major legends about it. Also, we just mentioned the 3 major characteristics of Chinese characters. How about the next number? What does number 6 refer to? That's right. We just mentioned 6 stages in the development of Chinese characters. Also, when we talked about the conformation of Chinese characters, we just mentioned 6书. In English, that is the 6 categories of Chinese characters. Plus, we mentioned radicals and strokes, which just apply the very important roles in the conformation of Chinese characters. By means of those numbers, you can easily remember what you have learned. Are you clear? That is the summary. Then, let's draw the conclusion about Chinese characters. Today, we have mainly talked about Chinese characters which have a history of more than 5,000 years. As one old and sophisticated form of writing that is still used by 1/5 of the world's population today, Chinese characters have gone through a number of stages in its development and evolution. As one of humanity's greatest and most enduring cultural achievements, Chinese characters are the root of Chinese civilization and the carrier of history. Okay, the next thing I need to mention here is the after-class exercise. That is about the assignment. It's related to critical thinking. There is only one question for you. As we know, nowadays, more and more people show great interest in learning Chinese. So, please discuss the great impact of today's Chinese on the other languages and the other people from different parts of the world. Just one question for you. That's all for today. Thanks for your attention. See you